Have you ever seen a couple of friends or colleagues start at the same time, being very talented, showing massive amounts of promise, but as the company progresses, one sort of goes to the top, the other one either remains or exits the company? It happens in marriage, it happens in your health, it happens in your fitness. On today's episode, I'm going to reveal how to have an unfair competitive advantage against everybody in that specific field. I hope I leave you better than I found you. Let's get into it. So our company is evolving. We've been in business for 17 years. Our company is growing and our staff complement is growing as well. We at over 250 people. And I'm noticing a trend. The people that helped the company grow and hit those record numbers, some of them are exiting the company. They're leaving the company. And when I go and dive into their figures, I see they are plateauing and they're starting to go backwards. And here's why. I hope you really take account of your current life in the business world and your situation and apply this method so that you don't end up exiting a company too early, or you don't end up forcefully stopping your career because you're not doing this simple hack. So think about it like this. The moment when you enter a company, you are version 1.0 of yourself. Like a cell phone update. I mean, I use Apple. It's version 16.0, I think, or whatever it is. You are version 1.0. You are equal to the company's version at the time when you enter. You get trained on processes and procedures at that stage of the company's cycle. Here's the difference now. The moment you've got a strong leadership team, the top leadership team is pulling the company forward. That means they are evolving. They are at version 1.2, 1.8, 2.8, 6.8, 12.8. They are staying ahead of the company, looking at new technology to bring in, new systems, new processes, new procedures, refining, polishing, constantly improving, shortening time frames of whatever it is that that company needs to produce. Indeed, pulling the company up. The company gets more efficient, gets more dynamic, growth shows. If you are not doing the same, and the company is already at 2.8, but you are staying at 1.8, the company needs to pull you up. Therefore, you're already a liability to the company. You're not adding value to help achieve the goals that the leadership team has forecasted or the vision that they've casted. Now, how do you stay ahead of the game? Here's 2 tips I want to give you. First tip, once every quarter, so every 3 months, master a new skill. Recently, we had a manager leave because he wasn't evolving in the systems. So as our company grew, there was more and more systems that came into the daily process and procedure. Therefore, to drive teams, you need to drive them through the system. Not what the people say, but rather what they're doing. You can monitor it and then give feedback according to the system. Because in sales or in some sort of a sales environment, people will tell you what you want to hear. It will make sense and it will be beautiful until the end result is low. Then we're all wondering why it happened. But when you dive into the system, you could see this thing coming. Now, I've been guilty of this many, many times. That's what I want to share with you. I've developed myself. I hate Excel spreadsheets. It makes me seasick. If I would rather do push-ups all day than look at a spreadsheet. However, having said that, I know that if I can manage certain areas of the business on an Excel spreadsheet, I become more efficient. I can do it from anywhere in the world, and I can do it at any time I want to. I can even wake up in the morning, first thing in the morning, wake up, walk around my house, open an Excel spreadsheet, check some figures, and I know how to prepare for the meeting I'm going to have in 2 hours. So that specific person never evolved. So he never took a quarter to master just that little section. That's the first thing that you do that keeps you ahead of the game. Second section is reading books. I can't stress enough how important it is, because every time you download and look for the mistakes, don't look for the good things that Steve Jobs did or whoever else it was. A book that made a huge impact on me recently is E-Myth. E-Myth says each and every position, each and every entrepreneur has 3 functions to fulfill and 3 different ways of doing things within the business. You've got a entrepreneur who needs to think big, expansion, finance, sales, buying, manufacturing, distribution. You've got a manager that manages a process. You need to manage that point A speaks to point B, and that interaction is clear and correct. And then you've got the executioner, you've got the person that needs to lift the heavy weight or do the selling, whatever it is that your company does. That way, you are version 1.2, 1.4, 1.8, 1.9, 2.0, and you always stay ahead of the company. You won't necessarily always be ahead of the leadership, but you'll be very close to them, helping pull the company up and never becoming a liability, but rather asset towards the common goal of the company. I hope you really watch this video 2 or 3 times and it makes sense to you. If it does, please, hope to see you next time when you're version 20.0 of yourself. Thank you very much for taking the time to spend it with me. If you like the video, leave us a comment, hit the like button, do subscribe and ring the bell. Take care and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.